I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki, one young boy in Lafto in Ethiopia. He called me Dr. Charles. I gave him a warm bath, brushed his teeth. He had not been taking his bath regularly. I gave him a warm bath, and I bought toothpaste and brushed his teeth. He was bleeding. I cleaned everything, and he looked at me, said, Dr. Charles, God bless you. I wept. I stayed in Lafto for 13 days. I went to Matahara, crossed Lake Basaka. Ethiopia is a very beautiful country. I am talking about unstoppable people, that is to say, successful people. People who achieve their purposes in life. People who refuse to give up. People who refuse to accept failure. People who fought against opposition and succeeded. And I want to take a quote from 1964. When Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment, he said to the court, I have dedicated myself to the struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an idea for which I am prepared to die. So, successful people are determined, decisive, 2Ds. 26 years later, in 1990, the Prime Minister of South Africa declared, apartheid cannot succeed. 2 months later, Mandela was released from prison. He became the president of South Africa. When I've been mentioning Julius Malema often and often. When I see him talk, I know what they went through. I know my schoolmate that came to FGC Warri, Louis Umbuisa, when he carried Hector Peterson in his arms, when Hector Peterson was shot during the Soweto riots. Remember the agony in the face of Louis Umbuisa. I have looked for Louis Umbuisa, searched the internet for him. I've not had any information. We treated him very well at FGC Warri, Federal Government College Warri, contrary to what some people are posting on the internet. We are very hospitable people, and it was one of the best schools in Africa. So, definition of purpose creates drive. When you define what you want out of life, it creates drive. Drive generates momentum, that is mass times velocity. Momentum creates force. The rate at which you change your mass times your velocity creates force, and force creates advancement. And the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. So, you define your purpose, it will generate drive. Drive will generate momentum. Momentum will create force. Force will create advancement. So, determination for every purpose in life is challenged by time. Every successful person has perseverance along with singleness of purpose. Sometimes I wonder how I wrote these things 10 years back. Singleness of purpose. It means to take hold fast, hang on, and not let go, according to a Negro song, a song in America. Take hold fast, hang on, and not let go. President Lincoln said of one of his generals, General Grant, the greatest thing about him is his cool persistency of purpose. He is not easily excited, and he has the grip of a bulldog. When he once gets his teeth in, nothing can shake him off. And Jacob said in the Bible, I will not let you go unless you bless me. This last statement by President Lincoln about General Grant describes my wife aptly. If my wife holds a thing, she holds it, she does not let go. She pursues it to the end. And that's why we are where we are. And I celebrate her. And I give her space, give her liberty. It is the characteristics of perseverance and not seeing difficulties that are insurmountable or the expectancy of defeat. It anticipates success. You anticipate success. After many years of discouragement and no discovery of any land, after many days of discouragement and no discoveries of any land, one sailor was told by his crew that rose up in rebellion against him and demanded a return to Europe. And the sailor appealed to them that if after 3 days they did not see land, they would return home. Before 3 days ended, they saw land, and that land was America. That sailor was Christopher Columbus. You see, we government collegians, we call ourselves mariners, and this is our logo. Keep the ship sailing. Christopher Columbus will have been discouraged 3 days to reaching America. Only 3 days away, and they will have turned back and had more days without a guarantee of success of going back home. How many times have you turned back just before success? I stood at the gate of University of Benin Teaching Hospital with 700 naira in my hand. Is it 700? No. With 7 naira in my hand. In 1981, I was going back to university. And my wife then, she should be about 20 or 21. My wife stood with me at the gate of UBTH. She started crying. I think that's the first time I saw her cry. She said that if she were to be in my position, she would have stopped school. I told her, I don't stop. I don't give up. When my first son went to Europe, the first time any of us crossed the barrier of Europe, he was sent back with his brother, his nephew. And my uncle said that now that the school fees has not been collected, that we should just stop. I told him, I don't go back. If I perish, I perish. The 2 boys have graduated now. They are surgeons in Germany. They are doing well. I don't go back. I bought 3 tickets. 3. I bought Turkish Airlines 2, Lufthansa 1. 1 I bought, they sent them back for no reason. They said they were not going through Turkey again. I bought Lufthansa. They refused to carry them. I went to the cooperative and borrowed money and bought a 3rd ticket. And they flew. As they were going, police stopped them on the way. That number plate was not clear. I called my brother. He called the policeman. Do you know the people you stopped there? And they let them go. Every great advancement is hindered by the devil, hindered by opposition. Beethoven, the classical musician, first began losing his hearing in his 20s. Imagine you want to be a classical musician and you are losing your hearing in his 20s. And in his 40s, he was totally deaf. He declared, however, I will grapple with faith It shall never drag me down. When he could no longer play in public because of his deafness, he threw all his energies into composing. He withdrew to a great extent from society, and in spite of all his illness, near constant gout and growing rheumatism, he continued to say to himself, "Courage! Courage! My spirit shall rule." His years of deafness became his most productive. On his deathbed, he had a smile on his face and he whispered, "I shall hear in heaven, courage! Courage!" Boy, I've seen hell. I've passed through the valley of the shadow of death. Imagine filling a form and it is stamped, fees not paid, not cleared for exam. I still did that exam and passed. In fact, I went to pay school fees after graduating from medical school. I went to pay school fees after graduating from FGC Warri. Courage! You must have that tenacity. That's why Raymond Orogugbe said that takes madness to work with me. If you're not mad, you can't work with me. Frankly speaking, you can't work with me. I find many church folks, many so-called Christians, I find them very difficult to work with. They find me too aggressive, too arrogant, too proud. They don't. I find them complain, devil, ancestors, that's government, that. Courage! I shall prevail. Courage! The Beethoven we celebrate today was sick. Where he needed most was what the devil attacked, his ears. What he needed most, his hands, gout, rheumatism, became deaf, but he was composing. Somebody's telling me that I'm bringing out too many videos a day. At this age, with this strength, with this vigor, man, I need to do more. I was looking at a young girl that is on CNN, Swift. Her record, she 30-something songs, and you are telling me to slow down. Continue. Me, I am pressing forward towards the mark of higher calling. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I will need to take a break to go to. You will see the next video when I get there. Remember, there's an online conference coming up on the 1st of May. People are registering from all over the world. Register on time by sending a message to me on +234 70 52 13 67 63. Send me a WhatsApp message. I will send you the flyer. I have properties for sale. People are buying land from me all over the world. Your money is safe. Your land is safe. And then join my WhatsApp mentorship group. We have had 1,800 and something members, and we are creating another group. So take advantage of it. Courage! Courage! God bless you. I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki.